Check this one out. Free Polaris Phoenix 200, 2011. Not every day you find one for free. So this popped up on Facebook. I was the first one to respond. The guy said come grab it. So the story on this is that as of right now, it does not run, does not turn over. The guy said you can turn on the machine, the neutral light comes on, but it won't turn over. He was sick of dealing with it. His kid outgrew it, and he wanted the garage space, so he posted this thing for free. So overall, it looks pretty decent. All the plastics are off of it. Somebody was diagnosing it, couldn't figure it out, so they kind of pieced it back together. Plastics are just kind of laying on there. It does come with a box of parts. I believe the side plastics and maybe the headlight is in there. So today we're going to try to figure out what's going on with this thing, and we're going to see if we can get this free quad to start up and drive. That is the goal. But it looks like somebody gave up on it and kind of just put it in the back of the garage to be forgotten. So hopefully we can save this one today. We're going to get this thing off the trailer, start digging into it, and we'll see what we find. Hopefully this one's salvageable. If not, we'll have to probably rebuild it or get a new wiring harness. We'll see. Should be interesting. I've never worked on one of these before. Alright, finally got this thing in the garage. It looks like the rear brakes are a little bit locked up on this thing. I'm guessing the parking brake is sticking a little bit. You can see that cable's loose. Right off the bat, you can see on the VIN here, 2011. So it's in fact a 2011. You can see all the wiring. It looks like it's been taken off. The switches have been bypassed. So this one should be interesting. Tail light lens is off of it. Let's see, here's the box of parts. It does come with the air box. And the other plastics. Oh, there's the headlight. That's nice. I was hoping that was gonna be in there. Alright, so where do we begin? I think what we're gonna do is take the seat off, all the plastics off, get down to the wiring, and start diagnosing that first. Because right now, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't even turn on. Nothing's lighting up. I'm guessing the battery's junk. The seller said last time he tried to start it, the neutral light would come on, and that was it. So we have our work cut out for us today. Alright, here we go, bare bones. We can probably get the gas sink off too. Let's see. That one looks like an aftermarket connection there. Looks like maybe that was bypassed at one point. All these look like stock, I believe. Just looking for any wires that are disconnected here right off the bat. This is for the headlight. I don't know what this one's for. Missing something there. Let's see. I believe the electric start is here on it. Here's override. Got your kill switch here, your lights. And it looks like here's the brake sensor. I'm guessing the brake has to be pulled in for this thing to start. I believe there's one over here too. Yep, that could be for the brake light too. There's a sensor in here as well. Going back here by the battery, yeah, there's not even a battery in it. You've got your positive, a fuse. This looks like the negative wire. And then you've got your solenoid. It looks like a couple wires are out over here. Somebody was trying to mess with that. So they just grounded, it looks like a wire directly to the solenoid right here. Huh, interesting. Very interesting. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is hook up a jumper to it. See if we get anything to turn on here. That's the first step. Then we'll start diagnosing everything and we'll see what we find. But yeah, overall the wiring isn't too bad, but it looks like there must be like a short or a ground issue or something going on. We're just gonna hook up a battery. I'm sick of hearing that beeping everywhere with my jumper. So let's just hook this up. So these look like they're positive. Put those on. Get your negative here. These two look like they're negative. Hook those up. Alright. Anything lights up here? Nothing. I think the bulb is out of there. That's the neutral light right there. Nothing's lighting up. Oh, there we go. There's a light. We weren't in neutral. There we go. Neutral light just out of it. You can see right here. Try to get that up in there. Alright, we're in business. So it was just in forward. That's why that wasn't lighting up. Alright, let's see what happens. Hit the start button. Nothing. So, let's go down to the solenoid, see if we're getting any juice down there. Alright, we've got this wire here. So this is the solenoid trigger. So, as you push that button, the start button, it should send a positive signal down one of these wires into the solenoid. And then that triggers a piston in the solenoid to come up, connect the bridge, send power down to the starter. So, this one wasn't even connected. Let's connect that up. It looks like they took this wire, which is a ground wire, and they went directly to the engine. I'm wondering if this was the original ground and they just bypassed that. And this must be the positive. That sends positive voltage to the solenoid to trigger it. So they just bypassed the ground wire here. So let's take a reading here, see what we get. Positive peg on the solenoid. Let's see if we get. So we are getting 12.42 volts there. Now, when we push the button, we should have 12 volts at the solenoid. So right now we're at 12. We're gonna switch pegs, go to this other peg here, and we'll push the button. See what we get. We're not getting anything. Let's see what this green wire is. It's nothing. Nothing there. Oh, it's not on. That probably doesn't help. Okay, so that green wire is positive. Now let's check this one again. Hit the start button. And we're not getting anything. Not getting anything at all. Let's see what this blue wire is. Let's see if we get any power to that. Hit the start button. A little bit. Looks like we're getting a little something there. 0.13 volts. It's almost like it's not enough. So we can follow this blue and white wire up and see where that leads to. Blue and white goes over here. So there's a blue and white here. That goes up to here. And it looks like it goes up to the starter switch. So that one does lead up until there. So what we can do, blue and white, blue and white. Yeah, it goes down into the start switch. So we're gonna take a look in the start switch and see if maybe that's our problem. All right, so we can take this one off right here. I believe this whole plastic piece will come out. That will come off. Possibly. There we go. Alright, now we can see in there. There's the start button right there. It looks like that's making contact. So it looks like the black is feeding the blue and white wire. So the black wire should have positive going up. And as you push that start button, it sends it down the blue and white wire to the solenoid trigger there, is my guess. So blue and white leads down to here. Leads down to here, yep. So right now, looks like we're not getting enough voltage. So we are gonna test the black wire right there and see what that's feeding the blue and white wire on there. Let's see, turn it on. We're not getting anything. Yeah, we're getting 1.15 volts. And maybe that's supposed to be negative. Huh. Well, I guess we can follow that black wire down. See where that goes. That's straight black. That goes into the black and yellow wire. Black and yellow goes up to here. We're going to touch the black wire. And we're getting 0.12 volts. So the start button's working. We're just not getting the right voltage at the black wire. Again, maybe that is supposed to be negative. We don't know. I don't have a wiring diagram. And the black wire on here leads to a black and yellow over here, which I believe, it's hard to tell where it goes. Black and yellow. Black and yellow. It goes to the override right here, which is very interesting. And it goes to the on-off button. So maybe we're having a problem with that. Yep, it goes right here to the on-off button. Huh. Let's see what the yellow and black wire has here. That's gotta be negative, because that's grounding out. So the blue and white wire at the solenoid must be negative. So what we're gonna do, I think they just grounded this one out too. So we're gonna replace the ground with this positive wire that it's supposed to have. All right, we got the other one out. Let's put this one in. There we go. Hook this up. All right. Let's see if we get anything. Turn this on. Nothing's flashing here. Not getting anything. All right, let's see what we're getting at the solenoid now. Let's see, we're getting voltage there. We hit the start button. Let's see if we're getting anything. Oh. Nothing. All right, let's see what we're getting at these wires. Oh, we're getting 12 volts at the green and yellow. We're getting 12 volts there too. Well, that's not good. All right, and then when we hit the start button, let's see what we get here. Getting 12 volts there. We hit the start button. Nothing happens. Big surprise. There we go. Okay, I'm hitting the brake here. All right, check this out. So this is the ground wire. We took off the positive, the green and yellow, and we put that on the yellow and red. This was switched around. So now if we ground out the blue and red, or blue and pink, it actually turns over. So I think somebody had these backwards on here. So we're gonna put the blue and white over to this one and the green and yellow over to that one, and then try this. All right, we switched these wires around. We've got the blue and white here and then the green and yellow there. Now let's try plugging this in. All right, now let's hit the start button. Turn it on. Nothing. How is that possible? That one pulled out. Oh, let's try it. Nothing. The heck? Doesn't make any sense. We must not be getting negative to the blue and white. That's all I'm thinking. That's probably why you bypass that. All right, so I plugged this plug in. The blue and white wire has positive, the green and yellow has positive. So both have positive. When you hit this button, the start button, the blue should be sending negative down to here, and it should be triggering the solenoid. So right now we're not getting a negative ground from the black, because as soon as I hit the black wire with the ground wire, you push that and the solenoid works. So I'm not sure why that's not working. Maybe it's the kill switch, I don't know. But if we follow that down, that leads down to here, the black wire, and then goes to the, let's see, the black and yellow wire there. I do see black and yellow coming up to here to the kill switch. So it might be the kill switch. All right, so if we look in by the kill switch, the yellow and black wire is right here. Because right there, that's on, it should trigger that to be negative. All right, we're just gonna move that around a bit. See if that does anything for us here. Nothing. All right, we followed this thing all the way up to the plug-in here, and we're looking for a black and blue wire that's supposed to be ground, and we're not finding one. So I looked all the way up to the ignition, and look at that, there's a black and blue wire right there. And like, where does that lead to? And check this out. It's cut right there. And then there's a separate wire going up to what looks like to be a ground. So that must have been the black and blue wire. That goes down to here for some reason. So I'm guessing that was supposed to be the green. That's right there. That's still going up there. So what we're gonna do is switch this one to the green, and I think that'll give us our ground that we're looking for. What a complicated process. So somebody must have messed with this, cut that wire, or that was cut, and I think that's messing everything up. So let's switch that around and see if we finally get this thing to work. All right, now that black wire right there, the black and blue, is going to the green. Before it was going to nothing. So let's see, we've got our kill switch on, or off I should say. Let's hit the start button. Probably turn it to on here. Here we go. Oh yeah. All right, that problem's fixed. So all along it was the cut wire at the ignition, which I thought was just bypassed, but yep, so at least we found out the problem. Now we can move on and try to get this thing to run. All right, we got all the controls mounted back up, solenoid back in place. Check this out. Now we hit the start button. All right, we're good to go. Let's see if we hit the off button. Doesn't work, perfect. All right, get the spark plug boot off of here. Looks like a newer plug in there. Really hoping we have spark here. If not, it might be the stator or the CDI causing issues. If we do have spark, then this thing might fire up today. So let's see what happens. Oh, there's gas on the plug. It's pretty brown, looks pretty good. Alright, let's see what happens. We're running a CR6HSA plug. Alright, here we go. I turn it to on. Oh, good spark. Alright. Well, we have great spark. We are going to put a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil down the cylinder. I don't know when the last time this thing ran. It's probably been a couple years. Plenty. Let that sit there for a little bit, and we can, in the meantime, check the oil. All right, oil level looks to be okay. You can see it down in the little window right there. Looks like the oil dipstick is right here. Let's check that out. That oil looks extremely clear. See if I can get this dipstick out of here. tiny little guy. This looks like the transmission. I think this is the transmission oil. Yeah, that's why it's so clear. The engine oil's over here. So, transmission oil looks good from the window. Check the engine oil right down here. Get a flashlight. I cannot tell if that's full or not. Oil, this is 1.2 liters right there. We'll take this cap off and just see if there's any oil in there. Take this off. I smell oil. There's a little oil in the cap here. So it might be overfilled. Alright, take our dipstick. Alright, we've got oil on the dipstick right away. So I think it's just all the way filled up. Yeah, there's a lot of oil in there. So if we get this thing to run, we'll get this warmed up and then we'll drain it and add some new oil to it. But there's definitely oil in it. I get this plug out. We're gonna rotate the engine over and just hold that towel there. Get all that oil out. Seems like it's gonna have pretty good compression. All right, time for a compression test. Let's see what we get. All right, here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. We're looking for over 100 PSI. If it's over 100, it'll start. It should have more than 100 though. Let's see. Throttle open, key on. Here we go. That's insane compression for a 200cc. It's like 193. That's amazing. So this thing should fire right up. We are getting extremely lucky here. We have great spark, great compression. Next on the list is fuel. So let's see if this thing's getting fuel to the carb. It's kind of hard to see. Here's the petcock right here. And it looks like there might be a pump on this thing. Let's see. Hose going down here. Goes up over to there. We get to the gas line here. So we'll turn this off for now. Alright, here's the gas line. Looks like gas was flowing. Alright, turn the petcock to reserve. Yeah, so it's gravity fed. Gas is coming out, kind of slow. There's on. See what happens if we try to crank it here. Yeah, it's just gravity fed. So it's working, definitely getting gas. There's off. There's reserve. Alright, so it's definitely getting gas. Let's see what that looks like. Looks pretty good. Not seeing any water in the gas. Looks pretty clear. Isn't too yellow. Alright, gas looks good. Alright, let's try to get this carb off. We can get the slide out right away. Alright, that was in the correct way. Looks good. There's a breather on the side here. Take off. Go. Nuts off. One more, and I think we should be good. Pretty easy carb to work on. Alright, that'll slide right off. That's one of the easiest carbs I've ever taken off. Alright, let's take a peek on the inside. Alright, let's see how much gas was in here. Dump that out. Well, I was definitely getting gas to the carb. Take a look. Looks a little darker than what was in the gas tank, doesn't it? Yeah, it doesn't look like ethanol gas was used. Not a single piece of gunk in there at all. Looks really good. Wow, that's like spotless. Float's working. Alright, that looks really good in there. Let's see if the jets are clogged. Main jet coming out. Oh, there's a little gunk on there. Yeah. Main jet is clogged. Yeah, that's pretty heavily clogged. What are we running for the main here? 98 for the main. You can see that's clogged. So, good thing we're cleaning up the carb. Let's see if the pilot's clogged. Oh yeah. Pilot is clogged as well. The pilot is a 40. That's a pretty big pilot. Let's see if the float comes out. Yep, pin comes right out. Perfect. Here's the float. Sometimes these are foam and sometimes they're just hollow plastic. I always like to shake them to see if there's any pinholes that developed. And if gas gets in there, it'll make that float heavy and it won't run right. I always just kind of shake that just in case. You never know if it's foam or just plastic. So better safe than sorry. The needle looks good. Nice and rubbery at the tip there yet. And the seat looks pretty good. So no gunk in the seat at all. Yeah, this looks pretty decent. We're gonna blow through all the passageways with compressed air and brake cleaner, and this one should be good to go. It's really not bad. No gunk over here at all or in the bowl. So this one doesn't need the ultrasonic cleaner. All right, carburetor's all back installed, all clean. Let's get the plug back in and get some gas going to the carb. See if this free Polaris fires up. Get your plug back in. Turn our gas to reserve here. We'll be watching the carb. See if this thing leaks at all. Healthy overflow. So far not seen anything. Alright, so far so good. Alright, here we go, moment of truth. Will she fire up? Choke it. Turn it on. Here we go. There we go. Turn the choke off. Sounds pretty good. Revving out. Oh, done like perfectly. We have to get the air box back on there, but wanted to make sure it ran before we did that. Sounds great. No smoke at all. No knocking in the engine. Yeah, everything sounds really good. Get a little rev here. Wow. I cannot believe that fired right up. So I think the whole problem was that one wire right there. So I don't know if they messed with that for some reason and just forgot to put that wire back or what, but that was the whole issue. So I'm guessing it wasn't getting spark because it didn't have that ground. So kickstart wouldn't work. And then obviously the electric start wouldn't work because it wouldn't turn over the machine. So yeah, now it's running great. That fired right up, like instantly. Wow. Let's see. Turn it off. Let's see if she fires right back up. Instant. That's pretty good. Let's see if the kickstart works. There we go, kickstart work. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. I think what we can do now is get the air box back on, the lights back on, all the plastics back on, and we can attempt to ride this thing. Yeah, that was not bad at all. That took me like probably 2 hours to diagnose the wiring. So yeah, not bad. That was a pretty easy fix. See how this air box goes back on. Check the air filter too. This goes right here. Alright, let's take a look at the air filter. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Almost looks brand new. Cool. Alright, we've got the headlight here. Let's plug that in and see if that's working. Alright, let's see if high and low works here. Turn it on. Alright, that's working. High and low. Cool. Let's see if we can fit these up. Alright, so it looks like battery has to come out for that battery. On here. Alright, this was missing the bulb. We got one for it. Let's see if that fits in there. There we go. See if the light works. Oh yeah, nice and bright. Cool. Just have to find the lens for it now. Work, goes right in there. Could only find one screw. Put one in for now. Hopefully we find the other one later. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah. Alright, last piece of the puzzle. Seat going on, hopefully this one fits. Cool. All right. All back together. The only flaw I see is the cutting the plastics right there. So not too bad. Otherwise, all the other plastics are not broken, all intact. All the lights work. Everything's working on it. So this one turned out pretty good. sounds pretty good. Alright, going underneath here, I'll show you guys the drain bolt. So it's going to be right underneath this filter, basically. Right there. We'll get that out, drain that oil, see what that looks like. See all the oil draining. Alright, oil looks pretty black, but no metal shavings or chunks in here. So that's good. Looks like it was overfilled a little bit as well. So let's get some fresh oil in there. Alright, I don't even think we need a funnel for this one. We're just using 10W40. Wet clutch oil. Dump that right in. Alright, and the 0.2 going in. Perfect right there. reverse works. All right.
Alright, Jade's gonna try out the Phoenix 200. Think you can handle it?
No. I didn't know I was doing this 2 minutes
Brake,
ago.
throttle.
Okay.
Don't go too fast.
That's all there is to it?
Yep. There she goes. That's like the perfect size for her. She's running pretty good. She's going pretty good. The brake, Jade. There she goes. She's pretty good.
Don't hit the tree. Whiskey throttle. Uh-oh, she's going off-road. We have to get her first impressions of it. I think she likes this one. It is cold out though. Man, I'm shaking. You're going fast.
I gotta use your speed, Joe.
Wow. Is this your favorite one so far?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to handle.
Yeah.
Ooh, I needed gloves though.
But you like it?
Yeah, did I
Pretty
look
easy.
cool?
You're going
Did
fast.
I look cool?
You were actually probably going over
Answering
15.
My questions, did I look cool?
Yeah, you looked really cool.
How fast?
You're probably going like 20, 25.
Oh, holy cow.
Down the hill right there.
You like how I went through that?
Yeah, off-roading. Yeah. We were all impressed.
Need any more tricks done?
No, I'll meet you back up at the garage though.
You want me to pick it up there?
Yep. It is cold.
Oh, my hands are like ice cubes.
Yeah, you must be frozen.
I am.
Oh, is that cold? It's a perfect size for you.
Yeah, it's a good size.
Yeah. So you like it?
Yeah, I love it. It's a great ride.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else to say to the viewers, Jay?
That's about it.
Oh, it's
I
cold.
don't think my hands are gonna warm up all day. Oh, there's the cold. Look. Ooh.
Well, I'd say the first ride went pretty well. This thing is running flawlessly. Not a single issue besides the rear brake. So I'm thinking, because this is twisted all the way in and the brake still isn't working, I think the shoes are really worn in the rear. So we'll have to buy some new brake shoes for that. Not a big deal, easy fix. And the rest of the machine works great. Front brakes work, suspension feels good, has great power, even with me on it. It was perfect for my wife, but I went probably 25-30 with me on it, and it never felt like it was low on power. There's just one gear too, so it's just forward and then reverse, which also worked great. So pretty simple machine. Pretty much anyone can ride this thing. So I think we did pretty good for free. I mean, not every day you pick one up for free and you fix it within an hour. That's pretty good. So it pays to take a gamble on a machine sometimes, because I thought for sure this thing was just a piece of junk. It was all torn apart, all in pieces. We pieced it back together, got this thing running and driving, all within a day. So not too bad. So hope the guys enjoyed picking this thing up, diagnosing it, getting it to run, and then taking it for the first ride. So I'm hoping you guys learned something watching this video. I know I always do, tearing into these mystery machines. You never know what you're gonna find. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video, and until next time, we are